All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We have Isabel Klee in studio. I'm so excited to have you here. This is one where you totally have like the parasocial relationships.
Yes.
Like we have never met in real life, but we have so much in common and cross things and the dogs and I think like I've talked about Simon Sits, your Instagram account on this podcast a lot.
Yes.
Which has been so much fun. So thank you for coming in.
Oh my God,
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to be here. I know, I feel like I'm like friends with you guys, but we've never actually, we're online friends.
Exactly.
I was like explaining it to everybody out there. I'm like, no, we know each other. Like, we go way back.
That's the way it is now, though. It's like,
Yeah.
you know people online and you see, like, it's like, oh, we get a big hug in real life. And it's like, we've known each other forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's no need to like get to know each other, like, which is
Right.
kind of a little bit weird, but I also feel like the dog thing, it's like when you meet somebody who is such a dog lover, you just have this automatic connection. And I'm like, I know you're a good person because you love dogs, you adopted a dog. I'm like, you're automatically on my nice list.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think like it is so true. You jump into the conversation, and I was telling my whole family you were coming in because we send all your videos all the time, and you know my sister too, and we've been following for so long. I just told you I actually followed you in 2019, like early,
Which is literally
early
when
days.
it's when I made Simon's account was March 2019.
Yes. So I have been on, I feel like I've watched this journey for you where, you know, you really just like were posting your dog and all
Yeah,
this
it was
stuff.
just like cute photos
It was
of Simon.
cute photos of Simon, which I was down for. And then when you really started going viral for your fosters, now we're at like 850,000 followers.
Yeah, it's over 2 million across like all accounts, which is literally like it's insane because it's all happened in the last like 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you got Simon, what inspired you to make an account? You just wanted to document cute pictures?
Yeah, I
like
mean,
we
I
all
feel
do,
like I feel like when so many people get dogs now, they just want to post cute photos of their dogs. They, like their entire camera roll is photos of their dog. So I was like, you know, I might as well just like make this account and post these photos so I'm not like irritating all of my friends all day every day. And for many years that's all it was. Not all it was, but you know, it was just these cute photos of Simon. And then it wasn't until like 2.5 years ago that I decided to start documenting my fostering journey that it really just like blew up beyond Simon.
And I feel like I probably know the answer, but what dog that you were fostering you think caught the most online attention?
Oh yeah, we all know it was Tiki.
Yeah.
It was Tiki.
Because I was like, it had to have been Tiki, but my God, Poutine was.
There has been a couple, I will say, there's been a couple that have really like taken off.
Yeah.
The first one that really went viral was Lucchese, and he was, I always say he looked like Steve Buscemi and just like the cutest dog. And then Poutine, and then Tiki, and then most recently Whimsy really stole everybody's hearts.
My mom loved Whimsy.
There's been quite a few that have really blown up, but Tiki by far was like international news. It was insane.
Really was, and everything. And you talk about everything in your book, which you are here to talk about.
Yes.
Dogs, boys, and other things I've cried about. I read it. I cried. I loved it. I thought it was such a great story. And I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but you just announced that there's a TV deal.
So exciting.
Which let me tell, and I know like reading it with that in mind was so huge too, because the whole time I was like, yep, this is gonna make a great TV show.
Yeah. Take us through the process of everything though, writing the book, and then, you know, we're seeing before the book even comes out that you're getting a TV deal.
Yes. So I have always been a writer, or I've always wanted to be a writer, I should say. I went to school for it. But then, you know, of course, I feel like it's the kind of thing like being an actor where you're like, nobody actually becomes an actor. Like nobody actually becomes like a best-selling author. It's just like a pipe dream. So I kind of like put it away for a while. And then when I got let go from I was at the same job for 7 years, and I got let go pretty unexpectedly. And I kind of had this moment of like, I could apply for another job, or I could try to make this work on my own. So that's really when I started to put effort into my own accounts and sharing my fostering journeys and writing about it. And that is the first time that I connected my two greatest loves, which is writing and dogs. And my literary agent cold emailed me in April, so almost exactly 2 years ago. And she just said, have you ever considered writing a book? And I was like, only every day of my entire life. Like, yes.
Yeah.
So we met up.
Finally, someone's asking me the question.
Like, yes. You know what? I have. We met up and we kind of came up with the concept of the book together. We wrote a book proposal. And it's so different. I mean, I'm sure you guys know, like, Instagram is so instant gratification. I'm like, I make a video and then an hour later it's released to the world and I'm seeing comments and like feedback. This was so different. So it was like writing the book proposal took me months. Then in October, I got my book deal. I wrote the book for an entire year. And then I guess, you know, there's all this like behind the scenes stuff that goes on. I signed with a TV agent like a year ago. So that's been like in the process for a very long time. And then UCP reached out. And this is what I tell people, you never know who's following you. You never know, because so many times these people who are the powerful people, the people who really make things happen, have no following. You have no idea who they are. So the president of UCP, Universal Content Productions, she's the president of like TV, the TV sector. She followed me and she was like, I heard about this book. I want in. Like, I met with her. She's amazing. And it just happened. And it was just kind of like really meant to be. And we're still in the very early process of it. But it's just so insane, because as soon as I wrote this book, it was the same thing that you said, that I was like, this has to be a TV series, because it's written in a very like episodic way that lends itself. Like, each of my foster dogs is kind of an episode in and of themselves. So I just felt like it was very,
like, clear-cut chapters of your life,
right?
Sort of, and and not to be like, but like the boys, it's in the, there's good like episode per, there's good like boyfriend arcs.
Well, I really wanted the book. I love dogs more than anything on earth. I don't personally really like to read an entire book just about dogs. Like, I don't think it's, I don't know, even for a person like me, I don't think it's like that riveting.
Right.
I love reading about romance. I love reading about dating. And so I was like, I need to combine these two things. So yeah, I do think it definitely even more lends itself to like a coming of age New York City TV series, you know.
That is really incredible, though, and it really is like a dream come true story, from being somebody who wants to write and then having that turn into a TV show. I feel like is everyone's dream right now, especially in the book world. I mean, we are seeing so many book to TV or book to movie adaptations happening. So this is so exciting. But now you have the pressure of releasing this book, seeing the reaction, and then automatically going right into writing a TV show. Yeah,
it's a lot. And I'm also getting married this year, and I'm moving. It's like
it's
within
all
like 4 months.
Doing all the things.
But I don't know. I just feel so grateful. It is very scary in some ways. Like, this is not just a book, it's my life.
Yeah.
So, and it's a lot of people have read it and been like, I was not expecting you to be so open and vulnerable about like your exes and all this stuff. I think a lot of content creators who write don't get quite, because it's so vulnerable and it's so scary to reveal that stuff.
You have a certain type of Instagram account too that is very dog forward. So it's like when you're reading, you wouldn't know that you have lived these lives and dated
like, oh my
these
God,
guys,
she has a life outside of the dogs.
Like, you know, was traveling through Europe and these living in basement apartments in the city and like all these things. That's the side we haven't gotten to know, which is very interesting in a book.
Yeah, and I think that was important for me to share too, because I think a lot of stories, and I think my Instagram too, it's very like wholesome, and a lot of stories about dogs are very like Disney-fied is what I say. There's very sugary, sweet, and I wanted to write about how like I had a boyfriend who was addicted to heroin, and dogs helped me through that. And it's not all like picture perfect, like sweet stories. It's like real and it's gritty. And these dogs like really help us through these very serious things in life. And I feel like that's so important to talk about, and like isn't talked about nearly enough.
No, it's so true. And I loved, it had to have been tough for you as well, because it's like you lived it. So like you had to, especially in your relationships, I loved sort of the way you talked about the things that you yourself needed to change in how you were in relationships when you met Jacob.
Yes.
And then it's like, okay, so you lived it. Now you have to like put it in writing of sort of being like, I didn't have my shit together to like make that relationship work at that time.
Yeah.
But now you did. So, but I'm saying like living it and then having to like kind of relive it has to be sort of tough too, right?
Yeah, I think especially with my relation, I write about my relationship with my fiance, and we broke up, or I broke up with him, and then we got back together. I think that was probably the most difficult because he's my current fiance, I should say, but like we're like actively in a relationship.
So I wrote this in the book.
Yes, and I like handed it over to my editor, and I remember saying like, do I look like an asshole? Like, am I like right? Because I wanted to be super honest. Like, I didn't want to be like holier than thou. Like, I am like picture perfect. Because I actually did feel that way in so many of my other relationships, because the people I was dating were so messed up that I was like, I never do anything wrong ever. So then when I met Jacob, and I was like, oh, I actually have some like bad habits and things that I'm not like super respectful of, and whatever the case may be, and I was kind of worried of how I would be portrayed. And my editor assured me, she's like, no, it's fine. And then Jacob read it. He actually didn't want to read it. He was just like, write it, and whatever you write, like, I will be fine with. And he read it, and he was like, I feel like you could have been harder on me, like his part of it. So it is like, it's my reality, and I wrote it as honestly as I could. But yeah, I felt like it was important to talk about, especially my relationship. So many people look at it, and I mean, Jacob is like literally the best guy on earth, and people talk about him all the time, but it wasn't always perfect, and it's not always perfect. And I think that's so important in like Instagram relationships to talk about too, of like, yeah, there's like a lot of shit we had to get through together, and a lot of like separate therapy we had to get through. And I wanted that book to reflect that reality.
Yeah. When you write a book at, a young age, and all these people are in your life still, you have your friends and all these things. What's the process of like, hey, so I put this story in the book, or like anything with your friends? You're like, is there things that you run by the girls to be like, guys, I'm putting this in the book?
There weren't a lot. I mean, to be fair, all of the stories about my friends, there was nothing like really bad.
No,
like,
they seem like amazing friends.
They are amazing friends, but like I would never put any like dirty stories about them in my memoir. So there wasn't too much that I felt like I had to run by. I did the very first roommate that I had, Phoebe, I write about like her love story with her now husband. And I did send that to them to just be like, can you co-sign this? Because they also had like a little bit of a turbulent beginning. And so I just I knew she would be fine with it, and she was. So there were a few things that I was like, just like, look, get eyes on this. But mostly, I mean, the exes didn't get the phone call.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask that, but I feel like, it is
everything's
your
been,
life.
Yeah. And everything's been changed. So it's like all the names, obviously, but like all identifying details, all like if I ever mentioned like where they worked, it's all like changed. So nothing could be like traced back to them. So yeah, that was
right. But how do you tell the full story without including them? Right? I feel like
they have to be.
It has to be included. When it comes to the TV show, are you going to act in it?
No, no, definitely not. I did like high school theater, but like, no, I have no interest in acting.
Dream Isabel? Who do you like? It's so crazy. Do you like work to cast
do you have
yourself?
A dream casting?
I don't. So I keep saying that
you got to manifest. You got to put the names out there.
I know. I keep saying that. I think that whoever is playing me has to be 20-year-old Isabel. So we probably don't even know who she is yet. Like, I don't know. I mean, sure, some people could play younger, but I kind of want the actors to be undiscovered. I kind of prefer that. My favorite show of all time is Normal People. Yeah. And so like, obviously I'm like, oh, Daisy Edgar Jones could be me and Paul Mescal should be Jacob. But but they were undiscovered at the time of Normal People. So I'm like, I like that. I like it just being like normal people who are like playing,
Especially now we're seeing that like heated rivalry.
That exactly.
It popped off so much because it was people we haven't seen before.
Yes, and
then like, the obsession just becomes huge.
But I think that too. And I think sometimes it's hard for people to see like not that he would ever do this, but like a Jacob Elordi in something, like he's always going to be Jacob Elordi. It's hard to like take the celebrity out of the character. And it's like for something like this,
you have to put him in the Frankenstein makeup.
Yeah.
And people are like,
yes. For something like this, I would like it to be more like grounded.
Yeah.
And like honest.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
That is so cool. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank
I mean,
you.
that is really just a dream come true. And then on top of that, you mentioned you are getting married this year.
Yeah.
How's the planning been? What's going through your head?
I am the most type B bride of all time. I think it also helps that I have like all these other things going on. Like book is my main priority. But I am very excited. We're getting married in September, and we rented out a sleepaway camp for 3 days. So
fun.
Yeah. So it's going to be like very chill, very fun. My friends will stay in cabins on the property. There's going to be like axe throwing and like archery.
So
and
fun.
Drinking. Yeah, it's gonna be really fun. So, and
that's
dogs,
amazing.
obviously.
Yeah,
Dog
right.
friendly.
Of course.
So everyone can bring their dogs.
Yeah, bring your dogs.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Will Simon be walking down the aisle?
Simon will be present.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to be walking me down the aisle. Simon does this thing where like when he knows he's not supposed to, he'll just like bark.
Yeah.
And so people are like, if you guys were like, oh, bring Simon today, I'd been like, no, he
'cause
can't. So I don't know. He'll definitely be there the whole weekend, but I don't know if
Like
he'll be
not
there for
at-
the ceremony.
Right.
It's like a baby that you don't know if the baby's going to cry.
exactly.
You're
So,
like,
And the
it's-
ceremony can be overstimulating.
I
and
just think
yeah.
he doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
He can be in the photos afterwards.
Right, exactly.
It'll
Just
be
so you
fine.
have some of the pictures.
Yeah.
But before that, yes, that's so true. And Simon really seemed to have, Jacob passed the Simon test pretty quickly, it seemed, right?
I will say that I mean, you'll read about this in the book that like Jacob knew that he had to court Simon as he courted me. On our first date, he showed up, like he had a charcuterie board for us, but then he made like a charcuterie board for Simon and like got
So
all these
cute.
different treats. And then
Cute.
very cute. And then Simon is super medically complex. He has like a million health issues, including epilepsy, which is very expensive. And like a couple of months into our relationship, Jacob sat me down and said, like, I want to split all these bills with you. And I was like, that is the hottest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, you want to, and he's so expensive. And just the fact that he was like, I want to take this on with you, like that. Yeah, I was like, okay, you're my husband.
Yeah, that's commitment right there.
Done.
Exactly. Exactly. That seals the deal.
Yep.
But you talk about a ton of your fosters in the book as well. And I think one of the craziest things that people hone into online about fostering, especially now like public figures that foster, is when they start posting, every comment is like, you have to keep that dog. Like, you must keep that dog.
Yes.
Like every single time a new dog's like, no, you gotta keep the dog.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has happened to you less and less now
has.
because it's like,
Yeah.
obviously you are often fostering. But yeah, of course there's a foster fail, but so many people, like, it's so important to keep fostering. And if you keep the dogs and you can't keep fostering, which
Right.
you talk about. But I wanted to ask you, like, who was the dog that you were closest to be like,
Well, this one actually still breaks my heart. So I mentioned Lucchese. Jacob still says that Lucchese was like his soul dog.
Yeah.
Like that, he's like the one that got away for Jacob, and it makes me sad. But he has the best life. He lives in like Jersey City. His mom is like the creative director of Steve Madden or something. Like she's like fabulous.
he's living a fabulous
Yeah,
life.
he's great. And then the one most recently that I was considering adopting was Mooney. He was like a really old Chihuahua, and I love Chihuahuas.
Yeah.
And he was just, I took him to Puppy Bowl because he was in their like senior segment that they did, and he was like bomb proof. Like he met a million dogs. It was like lights, camera, action, and he was just like go with the flow. I'm like, this is the dog that I need to be able to bring everywhere. And
You
he was
just
small
always have him.
Yeah, and he was like small enough, and I want that. Like I want a dog that I can like fly to LA with and always have it with me, and like because everybody always wants me to bring the dogs,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I can't bring Simon, and it's this whole thing. So I was like very close to it, but you know, I feel, and I think when you read the book, it'll be clear, like Simon and I, like that's just like my guy. Like I'm like, it's me and him till the end. And then maybe when he passes, hopefully a million years from now, I can consider another dog. But like the idea of introducing another dog permanently right now at this stage in his life, it just doesn't feel right to me. So that was ultimately what made me decide not to adopt Mooney.
Which is extremely fair, and it brings up Fran's point of people being like, you need to adopt everybody. And it is a lot of pressure because it is such an amazing thing when people do foster and can keep fostering.
Yes.
Like Noah's mom is always fostering. And they every time he comes in and says they got a new foster, and they always say, you know, maybe we'll keep this one. Yeah. But then you can't keep fostering. Yeah. So it is important. And I think that for the people who know, they really get it.
Yeah. And I will say my most recent foster, Marmee, there was a comment on one of my TikTok videos, and they were like, I just scrolled through your entire comment section with like over 1,000 comments, and not one person was saying you should keep her. And they're like, this is so night and day from like when you first started posting, because I really think people get it now. Like people understand the importance of fostering and like what fostering is, and that makes me so happy too. Like I think so many people have been inspired to foster and just like get it. And that is what is most important to me, is like, the point is not to adopt. If you do adopt, it's amazing, but that's not like the point of fostering.
Yeah. No, I know. I totally. And I think you've shown that to so many people and I think people love seeing your new fosters. So it's like now they're like, oh my God, well, she can't keep oh my God, he's so cute, but she can't keep him because then we need to know who the next one is.
Right.
The next one is going to be. And there's just been so many crazy stories of, you know, dogs showing up and like in random places. You're like, I guess I got to take this dog. Like, so it's great. But you have such an amazing relationship with Muddy Paws.
Yes.
The rescue, which where I had gotten Olive as well. But what's like your routine with them when they get someone that they like, when they get a dog that they're like, this one's got to go to Isabel?
Yeah. Well, so one of my really close friends, we've become really close friends, is the foster program manager at Muddy Paws. So it's funny because she'll get a dog and she'll immediately just text me and be like, what do you think?
Yeah.
But it's gotten to the point where the ACC now will text or email Hillary and be like, we got a dog for Isabel. So now there's like a pipeline of Isabel foster dogs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And they'll reach out to her and then she'll reach out to me. And most of the time, I can't remember a time that I've said no, really. Because they have a good sense of like the kind of dogs that I like to work with. And
they know you have Simon, like they know it's gonna
so it's just been this like beautiful partnership. And I just love them. I love the ACC. I love Muddy Paws. I think we were talking about them earlier. They're just like the best of the best.
They really are. And I kind of known already, like when I went into wanting to adopt, that I had a bunch of friends in the city that had already gotten dogs and they had gotten them from Muddy Paws. And it was like winner after winner. Like all these dogs were like amazing. We're like, these are great dogs. And so, you know, I'd said to my husband, like, when the time comes, like, we're definitely getting a dog from Muddy Paws. So I just like knew right away when I was
gonna say, what inspired, like, what was the connection with Olive?
Well, so her original name was Sarah, which was, you know, we changed it. No offense to Sarah, our producer. I'm like, Sarah's a human name.
Sarah is my friend. She can't,
And so when I had originally saw her online. I mean, I spent like 6 months every single night. Like my husband had a joke where Sundays were the day that I could show him dogs.
Like, he was like, it has to be like condensed.
Sundays were the day that I could be like, look at the Muddy Paws website. What do you think of these ones? Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And it went on for a while. I'd seen her profile, so I knew she was there. And I mean, I've told this story, but the shortened version is my husband left for a bachelor party.
You're like, perfect.
And it was like a beautiful first Saturday in May. And me and my 2 girlfriends like walked to Union Square, and I was like, let's just like walk through the event. Meanwhile, I had been stalking the website for a month, so I'm like, that's this. I like knew every name of every dog, and the volunteers were like, okay, like why do you know all the dogs? And Sarah had gotten like, she had some interest, and 2 other couples had like taken her on little test walks, what they do, and literally it was like they were closing up shop. It was the end of the day. And I was like, did she get adopted? And they were like, no, they didn't. She hasn't been adopted. I was like, give her to me.
Yes.
So
I love it.
Took her for a little walk, and I looked at my 2 girlfriends. I was like, guys, like, I'm gonna take this dog home. My husband's phone died. When he charged it, I was like, this is our dog. And it was perhaps, you know, not the best move on my part, was a little shady for a few weeks there, but now he's like, when I'm not home, he texts me, he's like, I love this dog more than anything. Like, she's the best thing that's ever happened. Like, it always. Like, now, because we've been traveling a lot recently for work, and he like sends me pictures of her. And the other day he sent me a picture. He goes, I just like she's the only one I love as much as I love you.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, it's like a love you can't even describe.
No,
it's like, it is just, and anybody who hasn't had a dog, like, I feel like they're like, I don't get it. It's like, it's a dog. But then once you have a dog, you're like, you are the most perfect creature I've ever seen.
I know. And it's so different when it's like your own dog too. Like growing up with dogs is so fun and great, and you love those dogs. But like when it becomes your own dog, it's a whole different story. But no, I know it really is. It's so funny, and I'm like, there's something really special too about reading this book.
Yeah.
With like your dog. Like I was laying in bed, she was cuddled up next to me, and I'm like reading the book, and I'm like, I'm like, oh my God. But then you really do think like, my God, why don't they live forever? Like you just want them to live
I literally
forever.
freaked out my fiance the other day, and I was like, I think I want to taxidermy Simon. And he was like, what? And I was like, how am I supposed to not look at him every day? He's like, you can look at photos. I'm like, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Like touch his fur, like look at him. And I'm like, I'm sure we could find a good one to like make it look realistic.
I know. I thought like, and I can't believe I'm going to bring it up again because I think my dad got like legit mad at me, but he said he didn't really. But I was talking about this too because one of my parents' dogs passed the end of last summer, and like their house in Florida now is like there's pillows with her face, there's mugs with her face, like she is kind of like everywhere, and it was so sweet. But I'm like, she's everywhere. But no, at this point, like now I'm like, I get it. Like I'd have a giant like poster of Olive like all over
right.
the
Like
place.
I said that my family dog that passed, like my parents have like a vial of his fur.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be.
Yeah.
I've seen those people who make like necklaces out of, they make like a diamond out of their fur or something, or their ashes. I don't know, whatever.
I don't know.
I'm like,
Whatever it is. You're
Whatever
like,
it is. I'm like, I'll do.
I know.
multiple.
Yes. I'll have a whole jewelry set of Simon.
I know. And they really do some crazy things with that stuff now too.
Yeah.
Who used to wear, was it Angelina Jolie or so? Who?
Oh, the vial
Somebody
of
said
the
they used to
blood.
wear the vial of blood like around their neck. Who did
Well,
that?
that was
Wasn't that
Angelina
her
Jolie
brothers?
and Billy
and
Bob
about
Thornton, but
Billy
that was their
Bob
own
Thornton.
blood.
No, I know. I'm just,
It wasn't a dog's
it
blood.
was
They were
humans.
wearing each other's
no,
blood.
I'm saying it's humans, but I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, I'll
that's,
do that
it's
with
at that
Simon.
level.
Yes,
Like
yes.
it's at
They
that
were
level.
doing that with each other.
I know.
That was like a weird sex thing.
Yeah, for sure. At Easter, my mother-in-law was like, yeah, you know, their dog that my husband had growing up, he was like, Buddy's ashes are in my closet still. It's like, why don't I?
hold on.
You hold on. But no, it's so true. And you talk about losing your
Yes.
childhood dog
Yeah.
as well in this, which is where I was sobbing because we've all had that experience.
Yeah, I think that's a chapter that really gets everyone.
my
friend
God.
texted me a picture of her sobbing yesterday, and I was like, "Are you at the Ruby chapter?" And she was like, "Yeah."
Exactly. I'm just, and you know what? I'm pretty worried for myself for just life because like, I don't know if it's luck or not because, you know, I wasn't there at the time, but then selfishly, I'm like, I'm glad I was. Like when my first childhood dog had died, I was 20, maybe 20?
Yeah.
19, 20. And I was not home.
Yeah.
So I had missed that. It was my parents and my brother. And for some reason, my poor brother, he's always home. And then when we lost Flo last summer, I also was not home. But it was my parents and my brother.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh my God. Now I'm like, eventually it's going to have to be me. Because now, you know, so, but.
I will say, I lost my first foster dog in December. He was like 1,000 years old, and he was blind and deaf and senile. Like he would just stare at the corner and bark for like 23 hours out of the day. So we made the decision. I say we, but a lot of people think that I made this decision. I'm like, no, it was like a team of medical professionals to like, you know, to put him down. And that was the first time that I had like held a dog as he passed, and it was so sad, but also one of the more like beautiful moments of my life. And just seeing how loved he was and how calm he was, and he wasn't in any pain, and it was just like this profound, like I truly feel like it changed my perspective on life. And so I know that like when the time comes for Simon, it will ruin me, but I also know that there's this other aspect of it that like I had the privilege of taking care of him for his entire life, and he never knew a day, you know, from the day that I adopted him, he never knew a day that he wasn't like completely loved and adored. And that is incredible. And like there's so much beauty in that, and trying not to like hold on to the sadness, but the privilege of loving a dog, I think is really important.
It really is. It's such a special bond. And you're talking about like you're not the one making these decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because there is the world of, I mean, social media is so crazy, and every like parents get shamed all the time for their children. Like when you become like, the people that want to become like mommy bloggers, and then you have to deal with like all the comments of like, you're using the wrong stroller, like you're holding your baby wrong, is like people screaming at you all the time. And I mean, I feel like you have had to deal with that in certain cases where like people are like, you're mishandling this dog, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What do you do now to kind of like ignore? Because sometimes I see you clap back at people. I'm like, yes.
I clap back very like, it's few and far between.
Yes.
But I think I just try to stay like, I am surrounded by so many professionals and so many smart people, and like, you know, vets. And with Simon, he literally has like the best neurology team in the country at AMC, and Muddy Paws has like a certified trainer on staff. And it's like I'm surrounded by these people that I trust. And I just always remember that like these random people commenting or making videos are just random people. And like they don't know the full, they take the context of like a 90-second video and like make an entire theory on it, and it's just not true. And I think, you know, I believe so much in what I do, and I believe in so much in like my morals and my ethics and my standards that I'm like, it truly does not faze me that much anymore. Sometimes I do like hit my limit and I clap back. More so that like I just like explain it. I'm like, okay, you're saying this, but like here's all the facts. Anytime I clap back, I try to come at it with like real hard facts, because emotions don't like get you very far in social media, unfortunately. So yeah, I think I just like I am so proud of the work that we've done, and I'm so proud of Muddy Paws and like just like the people that I'm surrounded with. So I just try to stay grounded in that and trust them and be like, they know what's real and they know what is right. And like with Zero, I'm like, I have an entire like medical staff who agrees that it's his time to go. Like these people who are saying like, just give him more time, just give him more time. I'm like, that is unethical to let a dog suffer. So I'm going to trust the opinions of these people rather than these. So
and you're the one living with the dog. Like the people online are seeing the 1-minute clips that you're putting out of him, and you're like, guys, you're not getting the full, you're not getting the full story here. I mean, it's like anything. So many people online think that there's like a universal book of rules that like applies to all dogs, and that's just like not the case. Even to the simplest things of like, oh my God, that dog's in a crate, there's no bed, like they're cold, like it's okay, well they chew through everything then. So it's like always the craziest stuff.
And I always find too that the people who have the most to say don't do anything. So
they don't even have a dog.
They don't even have a dog. They've never fostered. So actually I was just in Turks and Caicos doing a rescue trip a few weeks ago. It was amazing. But the woman who ran that rescue said this line that I keep saying in my head, and it just like resonated so deeply with me, that I would rather do and be judged than do nothing and judge. And I was like, yes, like that's exactly
so true. Which kind of sums up the internet.
Yes. And I'm like, at least I'm doing something. And maybe I don't do it perfectly, and maybe I don't like show up the way that you want me to, but like I am not sitting here commenting on people's videos being an asshole. Like that's,
and maybe you're not documenting every single thing that could possibly be done. Like there's a lot of work that people are doing behind the scenes that they're not documenting.
1,000%.
There really is. Well, Isabel, I love everything that you're doing. I love the work you do on social media. I feel like you use your platform in such a great way, because people like, and I love it because I feel like you get awarded for it. Like you use your platform in a great way, and then like the followers go up and you get the support, and I'm like, yes, good. We are. This is so great. You know, going on these trips and taking care of these dogs and fostering all these things. So I'm so happy that everyone's going to be able to read the book. Once again, Dogs, Boys, and Other Things I've Cried About will be out April 28th.
Yes.
Which is, we're getting to talk to you a little bit earlier than when the release is, but I've been people have been loving it. I've been seeing you sharing it, and it's such a you're really opening yourself up to everybody. So everyone appreciates that.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Right. I mean, here's
see.
the thing. It's like you think that, but then it's like you get a whole different side. And I loved your writing. I loved the structure of it. I thought it was a really well done memoir. So I'm just really excited for everybody to read it. And then honestly, really excited to watch the TV show.
I know.
I mean, seriously, just a huge congratulations for everything.
Thank you.
Massive success. And
We're so
being
excited.
able to fulfill all of those dreams while also using your platform in that way is just incredible. And very excited for your wedding. And seeing all your friends stay in cabins and the whole thing sounds so fun.
I'm excited for Mr. Isabel to become Mr. Isabel.
Oh, officially Mr. Isabel. I know. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.